This is Casey Stubbs. Today's episode is titled The Daily Process for High Performance Trading. Now, I'm going to give you a checklist on what I do every day to help me become a high performance trader. So two things I'm going to talk about right at the beginning is the importance of a checklist and why we need to be a high performance trader and why high performance is really important. And then I'm going to go ahead and walk through the checklist itself and how I approach every single day. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the checklist. Now, I started running recently. I think it's good for everyone who's in business or everyone who is trying to be a high achiever or really people in general to have a hobby. Hobbies are great because they help us to relax. They help us to get into other frames of mind and it helps us to learn some things. And I'm just bringing that up because I learned some really important things about my life from a new hobby. And I'm going to talk about that today. So one of the hobbies that I just started was running. I wanted to run a marathon. I'm training to run a marathon, and I've had this goal in my life for a while, and I just thought, you know what? It's time. It's time to do it. And so what did I do? What I always do. I want to do it. I want to do it right. So I got a coach. And it was amazing to get a coach, right? For a disclaimer, I didn't go out and pay a lot of money for a coach either. You don't always have to pay a lot of money. There are resources available if you look for them. I found a coach on an app, and it's just this running coaching app. I think I paid like $40 for the app, right? And this coach, you put him in your ear as you're listening, and he coaches you on how to run, and you don't even know the guy. But it's like, wow, $40 for a coach? What a deal. So anyways, now that you're following along on the story, what happened was I start running. And the first thing my coach tells me is like, okay, guys, we're out on the road. We're hitting the trail. Now, when we start the run, we need to have a checklist. We need to have a process. We want to find out how we're running. And he says, the way that I do it is I start from the head and I work my way down and I say, okay, am I thankful today? Am I grateful? I am thankful that I get a run. I'm thankful that I'm here today and that I'm running. How's your mindset? Ask yourself, what's your problem in your life? What's going on? Are you mentally ready to run? So that was step one. And then he's like, okay, now we're going to go down from our head and we're going to talk about holding our head. I'm going to hold my head upright. I'm going to look straight ahead. I've got my eyes straight ahead. I'm not looking down on my feet, and I'm running that through my checklist. How's your neck? Where's your neck? Your shoulders. Moving down your arms, or your arms pushing back. They should be by your side, driving back. And so on from the head all the way down to your toes. And then he's like, okay, once you do that, when you get started, you just keep going through that checklist as you're running. You've run for a minute, go through the checklist. You've run for 2 minutes, go through the checklist. You've run for 30 minutes, go through the checklist. Why? Why did he have us do that? And it's because we always get off course. We forget why we are doing what we're doing, and we forget what we're doing. The same thing happens in trading. We come into the day with good intentions, but we don't make it happen. We get off course. But that mental checklist that I learned from my running coach is the same type of mental checklist that we need to have as traders. And then check this out. He said something that really blew me away, and I got really excited. He said, the way that you approach running is going to carry over into how you approach your life. And I thought, you know what? That's so good. Because if I take the time to have a checklist in my running which is my hobby, and I mentally go over every single day what I need to do to make sure that everything is in order, I want that to carry over into my life. I want to live that kind of a life. And so, oh, wait a second. How can that apply to trading? Well, the way that we approach trading will carry in and carry over to your life. And the same way that you approach other areas of your life will impact your trading. Because we as people can't really isolate one area. We're a whole human being. We're one person. And so we could try to compact our lives and say, okay, here's my trading life, here's my work life, here's my home life, here's my life with my friends, all of these different areas. We can try to compartmentalize those, but you know what? They carry over because we're one person. So if you work really hard in your personal life to become the best person that you can be and you have a checklist, well, guess what? That's going to carry over into your trading. And then if you do it in your trading, it's going to carry over into your personal life. So the stuff that you're going to do now to become a high performance trader, that's going to help you. It's going to help you big time in your personal life. So the benefit of taking care of your trading is that it's going to help you in your other side of life. All right. So that's the checklist. That's why we're doing this, why I'm teaching you about a checklist. Now, the next part I want to talk about is why we want to be a high performance trader. Why do we want to be a high performance trader? Well, here's the thing. If you look at, let's say, a vehicle, a car, there's high performance cars on the road, right? And so what's the difference between a high performance vehicle and a regular vehicle? Well, just about everything. You got a regular beater car, and then you have a high performance vehicle. In a high performance vehicle, they pay attention to every detail. The interior, the exterior, the motor, every single part has precision detail. Whereas a regular car, they don't put as much detail. Now, they both get the job done. They both get the job done. Car one will get you to where you need to go, but then the high performance does it twice as fast and has a lifestyle attached to it. That's why the wealthy people are willing to pay more for a high performance beat, because it means something, because that attention to detail means something, because something that is better performing is important. And this is why we want to be high performance traders, because as a trader, I think it's even more important, because we could be a good trader and make some money, but we could be high performance traders and really, really do well. Now, I want to just put this in place here. We want to focus on our process. We want to focus on doing trading well and not on the outcome, not on how much money we're going to make. But the thing is, if you focus on that, if you focus on becoming a high performance trader, the money will come, right? So we all get into trading to make money. That's why we do it. We have a financial problem we need to solve, but then we focus on the money. And it's kind of a paradox, I guess you would call it, because it doesn't always make sense. Well, shouldn't we focus on how much money we want to make? No. It seems like it, but it's a misconception. We should focus on the process. We should focus on becoming a high performance trader. And that means paying attention to detail of every single thing that we do, what we think, how we act, what we do, everything. You know, in order to have a high performance vehicle, there's thousands of parts on that vehicle, and they all have to work in perfect unison to get that high performance. If one thing's out of whack, it impacts the entire performance. One part goes out, boom, we die. The engine dies, right? And it depends on the importance of the part. Some parts you might just hear a ticking noise or something. But if everything needs to be running perfectly for that vehicle to be running perfectly, 1,000 different parts working together. And trading's the same way. Trading is the exact same way. Everything needs to be working together. All right. And our bodies are the same way. We have multiple parts. So let's go ahead into my daily checklist. And the first thing before I even jump into that is I'm going to say, as a human being, we have three parts. We have a mind, a body, and a spirit. And so we need to take care of all of those things because they're all going to impact our trading. It's high performance. So when I get up, there are certain things that I want to take care of in my life before I even jump into trading. When I first started, I used to wake up and jump at the charts without thinking, without planning, without preparing, without taking care of my own self, and I would just do it without thinking. Well, as I have developed, I'm becoming a high performance trader. I'm becoming a high performance person. I have to think about all this stuff. I got to take care of my mind, body, and spirit. So step one is to take care of myself. And how do I do that? Well, I'm going to be focusing on my mind, my body, and my spirit, those three things. And so how do I do that? Well, I read and I write. I read and I write because why? Mind. That's the mind. If I'm reading, I'm enhancing my mind. I'm building up my mind. If I'm writing, I'm building up my mind. Because writing is a very good exercise for your mind. You're writing your thoughts. You're building your muscles in your brain when you're writing things down. So I'm reading and I'm writing. Okay, that's working on my mind. Another thing that I do, right in line with that, I'm reading and I'm writing. I'm also praying, right? I'm praying because that's taking care of my spirit. Now, reading is also taking care of my spirit, especially if I'm reading the Bible, right? I'm taking care of my spirit there and my mind at the same time. But I'm praying. I'm talking to my Creator. I'm talking to Jesus who created me. Now, if you're not a believer in the Lord or you don't think that that makes any sense, it's still beneficial for you to meditate, right? To meditate. It's still taking care of your spirit, right? You still should do that. I wouldn't dismiss it. I would do some research and look into it. Now, another part of what I'm doing when I'm getting my day started is I'm drinking water. I'm taking care of my hydration. Remember, we're high performance human beings. And so what does that mean? That means that our bodies are 70% water and all of the systems on the body require water. Your brain requires water to run at a high level. Right, so we know that reading and writing helps our brains operate on a high level. Well, so does drinking water. Drinking water helps your brain operate on a high level. We want to take care of our brains. We want to take care of our bodies. It helps your entire body to function, your heart, your kidney, your livers, your muscles, every single system, your skeletal system, your cardiovascular system, all of your systems are running on water. So if you're dehydrated, you're going to be lower performance. So that's the thing about this is it's just so simple. It's so simple. Just drink enough water, find out how much water you need to drink, and then drink that. And you're going to see an instant performance, not just in your trading, but in everywhere of your life. Is it not worth it to do something as simple as drinking water to increase your performance? Of course it is, right? So drink water. You know, the other part of is nutrition. What are you feeding yourself? Life is very short, and I am of the belief that it's too short for me just to do things without thinking about it. I want to live my life which I call intentional, and I want to be thinking about everything that I do. I don't want to do what I don't want to do. I only want to do what I want to do. Well, how will I know what I want to do if I'm not thinking about it and planning it out? I'm living intentionally. And so that means for me, I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat. I'm not just going to eat random stuff, whatever comes my way. I'm going to think of how it impacts my body. Food is fuel. I'm a high performance human being. I have a mission, and I'm not going to waste my very precious time on this earth using fuel that is going to limit my performance. I'm just not going to do that. So I'm going to think about it and plan it out. Now, let's keep going. Exercise, right? The benefits of exercise is tremendous. Right? It's tremendous. Again, Exercise is good for your brain. So right now we know that we're reading and we're writing and we're praying. Those are things that are good for our brain. We're hydrating. It's good for our brain. Do you think your brain is important in trading? Anyone think that their brain is important? And now we're going to exercise. And so what do we need to do? Well, you need to get your heart rate going. You need to get your heart rate going. And what does that do? Well, it strengthens your heart, which is good for your health. You eliminate toxins from your body, which is good for your health, good for your brain. You get that heart rate beating. Get your heart rate elevated for about 20 minutes a day. It helps your lungs. It increases your lung capacity. And then also we want to do some anaerobic type exercise, get our muscles going. Again, that's very good. It builds up your body. It makes you stronger. It helps your brain. All of these things help you become high performance. And so I have that, I do that right away at the beginning of my day. So my first part of my day is reading, writing, prayer, hydration, and nutrition, and exercise. I take care of all of that before I even get into trading. So that's my first step on the checklist. Then the next part is my mindset. So now I've been working on my brain, working on my body, preparing my day. Now I have to go in and look at my mindset. And the way that I do that is gratitude. It's very, very scientifically proven that if you have gratitude, it's going to help you, right? And that basically means think of things that you're thankful for. Gratitude is really easy for me because I have so much that I'm thankful for, but it's not always easy. It's a discipline that I've learned to do. When everything is falling apart around you, it's not easy to have gratitude. It's a real challenge, but I've learned to do it because of a discipline, and that carries over and it transforms my life. All right, so when things are bad, I find things that I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful that I can trade. I'm thankful that I have a body to do exercise. I'm thankful that God created me. I'm thankful for the beautiful creation that I'm living in. Right? I'm just constantly thankful, and get rid of that negative thinking and complaining. Complaining is like poison for your bones, poison for your body. I just don't do it. Oh man, the markets were bad. Oh, my wife said this. My kids did that. My coworkers did this. I just don't do that. I focus on what is good. Now, I'm not saying that we live life as pie in the sky and we don't address problems. No, we address our problems, but we focus on being thankful. So gratitude is a really big thing as far as your mindset to help you get into the right mindset with trading. Remember, high performance. I'm going to be a high performance trader. The next part of mindset is belief. What do you believe? What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about your body? What do you believe about your high performance? What do you believe about what your trading is going to do? What do you believe about your own personal disciplines? Right? Go through and remember your belief system. If you believe it, you can achieve it. What do you believe you're going to accomplish? Very important stuff. It's very important. Another part of mindset is your own personal vision. I have a vision for my life. Why would I do all of this stuff if I didn't have a vision? And so I know I'm dropping a lot here. I'm dropping a lot. That's why I recommend that maybe you listen to this a few times and take notes. You could listen through this and probably pick out a lot of things because I do this. I listen to good things all the time. But vision, I'm going back to vision now. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you going through this whole checklist? Why do you want to live a high performance life? Why is it important to be a high performance trader? What is the end goal? Is the end goal just to make a lot of money? No, I'm telling you right now, that's not the end goal. You have to have a vision. I have a vision for what I want to do with my life and people that I want to impact. I want to impact people with my business. I want to impact my family. I want to impact my community. I want to be a positive influence for the people around me and a positive influence for this world and ultimately for God, my creator. That's why I'm here. And that's my vision. That's why I do what I do every day, right? That's me. So what's your vision? Why do you do what you do? Now, those are some really important things. Gratitude, belief, and vision. Those are the three things under mindset. Some other things under mindset that we could add. How are you feeling emotionally? Are there any problems that could impact your trading? Ask yourself these questions every day. Are you stressed? How do you feel? Did you get enough sleep? Right? That's another one that goes under the first part, and I forgot to mention it. Sleep goes under the mind, body, and spirit. We can't always get good sleep, but we should plan our life so that we can get sleep on a regular basis and get good sleep, because that's another one of those bodily functions that gives us high performance. If you're not going to get enough sleep, just like if you're not drinking water, it's going to hurt your performance. So making sure you're getting enough sleep. Reviewing is there anything negative? Is there anything negative that could impact your trading today? Anything under the surface that's waiting to come out and self-sabotage? Some of the things that I'll ask traders who are in trading with me is, okay, what are some ways that you self-sabotage yourself? Ask yourself that. How have you self-sabotaged yourself, and how are you going to fix it? Awareness is important. The way you get awareness is by slowing down and asking yourself these questions. And so I've been talking for a long time, but to go through this entire thing doesn't take that long. Like on this step, the mindset step, that only takes a few minutes. I'd say about 10 minutes to go through everything and to really slow down and think about these things. Because once you get trading, you don't want the self-sabotage to pop up. You don't want the negativity to pop up, because in the heat of the battle, in the heat of the moment, that's when that stuff is going to show up. And if you don't know about it, it's hiding under the surface and it's just waiting to rear its ugly head when you're in the middle of a trade. Okay. Now, the next part is every day I focus the markets with a clear trade plan. So I have a way that I approach the markets. Get yourself a daily trade plan and a daily system. And the way that I do it is I do what is called a top-down analysis. I look at the markets on a daily chart and I give myself a daily bias. I look at the news and I try to trade around the same time every day, which is right around market open at 9:30 Eastern time. And I want to do my analysis before the market opens, and I want to get in ready. I want high performance. I want to try to find the absolute best trade that I can. I analyze the market and I say, where would be the best place to enter the market? And I try to find that best place, and I try to be patient and wait for the right setup. So I go into the market with a trade plan and I build that plan every day. All right, now the next step is execution. Every day you come in and you make your plan, but then you have to execute. So before you execute, you want to think about everything, but then the execution is the easy part, because now we've just done everything that we needed to do to get ourselves ready to have the perfect trading day, to have a high performance day. And does that mean you're not going to make mistakes? No, but you're training yourself to be a high performance trader. And so if you're a high performance trader, you're going to eliminate those mistakes. And so if you do all of that ahead of time, it makes the execution really easy. Because then why? Because you don't have to think about it. You just do what you planned. You make sure that you're following your risk parameters. You make sure that you're following your entry methods. And then you just execute. And then the last part is the review part. At the end of your day, when you're done trading, slow down and take time, set it in your trading part to review all of the day's trades. Review them, write about your emotions, write about your execution, write about your daily process. Review those things every single day. And then when you start your day the next day, review them again. And so some other things that I like to do to help me is I like to put aside time every week to read market stuff, to watch training and to listen to audiobooks. I like to read about trading. I also like to read about mindset. I like to read about things that will help me improve my mindset. I'm always trying to, I focus a lot on self-improvement stuff and awareness. And I want to read stuff that's new, but I want to read stuff that's old. It's really important to learn about what had happened in the past. And some of those ancient writers were really accurate, much more accurate than even people nowadays. So, read a lot of different things. Be varied in what you read. And then meditate on that. Meditate on the things that you read, and it'll give you a great insight on it. We don't want people that have a great, just reading 50 different books but not really understanding them doesn't help. Take it down. You don't only need to read a paragraph or a couple sentences and then really dive in and understand that material. And it's going to help your brain. It's going to help you it's just going to help you be a better high performance person. So in review, we want to be high performance traders. And the way that we do that, we have a checklist. And in my personal checklist, I'm going to take care of my mind, my body, and my spirit. I'm starting my day with hydration, reading and writing, prayer, and exercise. And then I go from that and I go into my mindset. And inside my mindset, I'm focusing on gratitude, my belief systems. I'm asking myself about my emotions and problems that I need to solve and obstacles. And then I'm focusing on getting ready for my trading day by doing my trade plan, giving myself a top-down analysis, looking at the daily levels, and coming up with a really solid trade plan. And then from there, I focus on execution. And at the last part of my plan is I'm focusing on reviewing everything. And that's how I have developed into a high-performance trader, and I want you to develop into a high-performance trader. So thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, just send me an email at business@tradingstrategyguides.com. We love to hear about it from the podcast. Just use the subject line, high performance. I will answer any questions that you might have about today's episode. And I really thank you for listening, and I hope that this adds value to your trading. And trade well, and I'm always here to help you advance in your trading journey. Thank you for listening to the How to Trade It podcast.